我話2年後咧，佢哋未必咁勁。即係話最冇前位咧，都先得咁勁。
모치 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 모치
呢個有冇咖喱 powder？
有啊，啲 onion sauce。唔中意椰汁啊？有椰汁香啲㗎。
Okay, time now is 1:32 a.m. in the morning on January 5th. This is my bed. Just came back home. Not really. I mean, yeah. And this concludes the end of the Seattle trip. Right now I have a little bit of personal space. Both my parents are outside, so I can film this for a little bit. I will talk about my experience day to day tomorrow night after I return home, which is going to be very long. I may have to split it up because it's 10 days worth of thoughts and feelings that is going to it's going to come out all at once. Just want to say that today started off kind of disappointing because I'm not seeing Jiayun, but maybe not seeing her is a good thing. Like, yeah, I'm not in my best condition. Like, I have acne, and I have a belly. I'm fat, and tired, obviously, if I have to wake up super early in the morning and go all the way, like either take a bus, which is going to take a lot of time, maybe a whole hour, or an Uber an Uber to Bellevue to see her. It's too much. On the other hand, Jiayun was like, yeah, well, I have to meet my friend at Pike Place Market at 11 a.m., which is, by the way, that's fucking greedy. Like, I wish I could hang out with a friend and the hangout begins at 11 a.m. and I have them the whole day. Come on, really? So it was slightly disappointing, but honestly, I don't really care. Maybe it's because I've grown numb to disappointments like this. But yeah. But it's okay. I read her script and then I DM'd her and we talked a little bit. She's nice. She's still nice to talk to, but I'm definitely having some double thoughts or like second thoughts about what I think of her. I will elaborate tomorrow. I don't know. The thing is, like, I've only seen her in person twice, and despite having talked to her many times on Instagram, having only seen her twice is not enough for me to judge a person at all. Okay, anyways, today, last day, we woke up and we went to eat Chinese noodles, because why not? My cousins and my brother went to eat Texas barbecue, which is fucking insane, because last night is Korean barbecue, and we already had a lot of like burgers and meats and huge hot pots, but they keep eating. And the thing is, my cousins, they study in Europe, they don't get to eat Texan barbecue. So my brother went along and they ate a lot of food. I don't need it anymore, okay? I've had too much, so I followed my mom and my dad and my aunt to Chinese noodles, which is literally in the same strip mall with the same other Chinese noodle restaurant. The sweet and sour fish noodle restaurant, the same strip mall that I went to this summer where I lost my glasses. We went there and we had the food. It was okay. Honestly, I don't care anymore. I'll eat whatever is in front of me and I don't care about whether, I stopped caring like a week ago. It was raining pretty hard too. Thankfully, water didn't go into my shoes, which is always the case because I have very, my shoes have holes. It's fiber. And then we went to Meat Fresh, which is this boba, or not boba, but like this Taiwanese dessert place, and had some more dessert because, of course, more food. I was feeling okay. And then we went to Bellevue Square, and it's the third time I've been to this mall, actually fourth in my life, so I was bored. Like, the moment I stepped into the mall, I was bored. And I'm just thinking, like, maybe Jiayun was here earlier this morning, or maybe Jiayun would be here tonight or something. Like, we are probably in the same place, just at a different time. Yeah, a little bit of in the mood for love moment, maybe. Yeah. So I and my dad, we walked around Uniqlo to look for short pants for pajamas. And as expected, I don't find any. Who cares? And then we walked more and more. And yeah, it's fuck, the plastic bag keeps touching my bed. Okay, it's fine. I'm not gonna touch this side. When I hop onto my bed, I'm gonna go the other way. Yeah. I like lost my dad at some point. I couldn't find him in Uniqlo. That's small. I walked in Zara. Nothing. So my aunt's husband, so my uncle, I guess, took the cousins, my brother and me, to another part of Bellevue Square. And again, I've been to that. And it's a place called, I forgot the name. I actually have the card to it. It's called, rechargeable arcade card. No, that's not the Lucky Strike. Yeah. And it's like this huge arcade place. It's kind of like Jumpin' Jim in Hong Kong, but it's a big arcade place where you play a bunch of stupid mini games, like throwing basketballs at a hoop, or like gambling games, gacha, driving, Dance Dance Revolution. And it's very stupid, but again, I don't care anymore, and also I'm bored to tears, so this is like the best thing I could do right now. So I played a few of them. I played a gambling one, which was so silly. You push a lever, and then it spins, and it lands on whatever. There's a basketball one. Despite my shoddy, painful wrist, I threw some basketballs. I threw some balls at multiple mini games, and surprisingly, I had pretty good aim. Like, whenever I'm calm, my aim is pretty good. Okay, my mom interrupted me. It appears I can continue. I don't know how long can I continue, but I'm probably gonna have to stop recording suddenly. Okay, my aim was pretty good. I think it's the first time, and it's ironic, in this entire trip where I feel comfortable with my elder cousin. I don't know why, but like my elder cousin throughout the entire trip just has this menacing aura. Just like cold, aggressive eyes, and the idea that he has multiple girlfriends and has had sex just really distance me, because I hate sex havers, you know me. Which is funny, but it's also kind of serious. But today I like worked with him a little bit, you know, during the mini games. Yeah. There's driving one where all four of us, two cousins, my brother and me, we were driving this Fast and Furious game, and I was pretty good. I wasn't last. I was expecting myself to be last all the time, but no, the 2 rounds we played, I was like 4th, and then I was like 3rd. It's not bad. And then I exchanged for some candy. I got a Jolly Rancher. I got a Rip Roll. A Rip Rolls, which I've never tried actually, but I assume it's like the trolley sour candy. I got a regular mini burger, classic, and I got a sour one. And then it's already 5:30. And then the uncle took us to the car and okay, so time now is 4:05 a.m. in the morning on January 8th, but let's pretend it's January 4th, day 10. That is technically the final day of the trip. Now, I did talk about what happened because there was a small window of time where my parents are not in the hotel room, so I got to talk a little bit. So, I last left off at, I believe, the arcade games. I played the arcade games. I got Rip Rolls, 2 mini burgers, and a Jolly Rancher. And afterwards, we went to my aunt's place for a final meal. And yeah, it's the big finale. And I realized this, that is, whenever I'm in front of a big group of people, say 15 random fucking people in the Enumclaw wooden house, I don't want to fucking talk. But when I'm with like less people, it's easier for me to open up. And that's the case, because this dinner was nice. Also, I talked with Jayan a little bit more. I read her script and I gave her a bunch of comments, right? It's impressive. It's a really well-written, tight script. It's violent, it's bloody, it's cool, it's energetic. It's not artsy, so it didn't blow my mind, but yeah, it's cool. And we talked a little bit, and again, she's like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna ask you to PD, or like, I may ask you for help, you know? And Maisie too. And I told her, like, just get Maisie, because she's a woman, and this story is about womanhood. Like, obviously, the PD should be a woman. And she's like, yeah, of course, but, you know, if I need help for construction. And I'm like, sure. Yeah, so me, my brother, my cousins, my dad, mom, aunt, and second aunt, her husband, and grandma, we sat around at the dinner table and we had our final dinner. Steak, pasta, salad, etc. And we decided to play this silly bonding game. Again, it's like very silly, but at first, my second aunt was like, okay, since it's the last day, everyone, please talk about your highest moment and your lowest moment in this trip. Which is boring. I literally just had my most or my second most boring trip of my life. The highest is not that high and the lowest is not that low. If it was Japan, then I have a lot to say. I can name you 10 amazing things that happened to me during the Japan trip. Like 10. Like traveling around Akihabara. The snow monkey was fucking amazing. Onsen was surprisingly nice. Solo travel around Shinjuku, that's for sure. Snowboarding was pretty fun, surprisingly. Solo traveling to the Shorinzan, like, the Japan trip was fucking amazing. It was highlight after highlight after highlight. Asakusa was great. Team Lab Planets was surprisingly fun. Like, come on. This one is like, I don't know. So when I was asked, I was like, oh, my favorite high is the snowboarding. And my least favorite is malls because they're boring. And my aunt was like, snowboarding? But like, you sprain your wrist. And I'm like, well, it's like a movie. If nothing happens, then it's not good. And then a little bit later, we play a silly game called, like, Inquisitor. It's like a card game where we are asked a bunch of questions and, like, we have to answer them truthfully. And, of course, we have to needlessly make it very dramatic. Now, I love being dramatic, but when everyone else is dramatic, I try to be less dramatic because I'm contrarian like that. And, yeah, so yeah, it was like this card game. You take a look at it and you answer it, and then you ask someone else that question, and they have to answer it, and then after they answer it, they pull a card, and it's another question, etc. I think I was asked, like, what's my best purchase or something, and I was like, the homestay, the first apartment I rented where I lived myself was great because I got to live by myself. And then I forgot what exactly I was asked, but I said some pretty solid answers. Um, yeah, and then we played another card game, which is even more vague. The questions are even deeper, and everyone took the chance to be like super personal and touchy feely, which is cool, but too much. Like my grandma, I really respect my grandma, and she keeps talking about how happy she is to see the whole family together, which is valid. Um, my mom also said something similar. My brother kept talking about family and how much he values family. Like every question, he just ends up talking about family. Like, what do you miss the most? And he's like, family. And he's like, and what do you want to see being changed? And he's like, I want to change the fact that I can't see my family. Like, everything's about family, which is respectable, but come on. Um, um, at some point, I had, what do you celebrate? And I said, aside from my birthday, well, April 25th. So I talked about Reunion Day. And it's actually crazy that I've been doing this for like 8 years now, but every April 25th, I celebrate a day that no one else celebrates. And that is, I argued with my friends and then we got back together. So that's pretty quirky. And then another thing I was asked was, well, like I did another card game and the question I pulled was, what do you do to express yourself? And I simply said, I make films. I wanted to talk about making a documentary for my grandma, so I have to somehow twist my conversation towards that direction. So I said, I'll give an example. For instance, I made a short film at my apartment this summer, and I also talked about wanting to make a short film at the wetlands, even though that didn't happen. And then I talked about my grandma. So that was nice. Oh yeah, what do you want to know about? And I said, I want to know about people. Like throughout the last semester, I only knew them shallowly, but next semester I want to know them, like dig deep. And it's felt like a very deep answer, but honestly, I've talked about this already in one of these videos, so it's like, But eventually, two things. One was a good maybe half an hour, maybe 15-minute long chunk of that dinner was this crazy argument or just awkwardness between my cousins and their mom. Because my aunt had a divorce a few years back, and since then, family's kind of torn apart. Throughout the whole trip, the elder cousin has been a total jerk towards my aunt. And usually the family would side with the aunt because the elder is always the right. But this time, my mom and my second aunt also like wanted to look at it in a more neutral way and was like, hey, it's a good thing that your son is giving advice to you. But it was very mean-spirited, the whole deal. And my younger cousin is like more innocent and more confused. The elder cousin is more like mean-spirited and more malicious. And the aunt is more like melodramatic and sad. She's like, why are you so mean to me? Like, I've done nothing bad to you. All I wanted to do is care for you. And my elder cousin's like, see, here we go again. You're always talking about yourself. You're always victimizing yourself. Why have you never talked about our feelings? And then like the younger cousin's like, I don't want you to stay too long in Germany when you visit me. 2 days is enough, because if we stay any longer, our relationship will be ruined. And it went on, and my brother decided to chime in. He's like smart Alec. He's such a smart, like, goody two shoes about it. And he's like, okay, so from my understanding, you and like there are no right or wrong. Like I appreciate my brother doing this, but man, you are not him. You're not him. So yeah, that happened, but I'm glad some bonding happened. And then at some point, before we played the card games, I wanted to speak up, but like everyone kept ignoring me. Like my mom left for the bathroom, and my dad went to grab some food, and then my aunt went to grab the card games, and I'm like, actually, and then for like 5 minutes I couldn't say anything, and then I was like, actually, I want to say something, and everyone quieted down and listened to me, and I apologized. So this is really weird, because A, I never reveal my true feelings to my family. B, I'm never honest. This is a terrible thing, but it's true. I am seldom modest in front of family. I'm always just haha, whatever. But since everyone's so bare bones and everyone's so honest, it would be a disservice if I don't reveal this. Throughout the entire trip, I feel like I've wronged everyone, because A, I've been very pissed off. Like my mood just looks like shit. B, I've been abnormally quiet and cringily mysteriously cringy. So I apologize for being pissed off and for being quiet. And I said, every time I'm quiet, 10 different thoughts are happening in my head. I'm actually not like blank. And sometimes I don't know what to say. And I don't know how to react. Also, I'm pissed off because I'm used to being alone and living alone. So when I wake up and I hear voices, I hear sounds, I get really pissed. And everyone's like, oh, it's okay, it's okay. And my parents are like surprised that I spoke up. My elder cousin was like, oh, it's fine, we're introverts. I understand how you feel. Also, when my brother talked about family, my mom cried. And when my grandma talked about family, my grandma cried. But finally, the highlight of the meal was at the very end, for about maybe half an hour or more, my grandma talked about her history. The Cultural Revolution, escaping to Hong Kong, like having sickness, having lungs filled with water, she can't breathe. She had to sneak out of China and come to Hong Kong. And when she came to Hong Kong, it was hell, because she's a refugee and everyone's racist against the Chinese. And my maternal grandpa, despite being a successful filmmaker / actor in China, couldn't find any job here and became a construction worker. And they lived in a very shitty wooden like house, and it got burned down by the mafia, by the triads, and they have no place to live other than in a mental asylum. And they lived on the mountains where there's no water and electricity, and there were 3 fires. It was terrible. Now, throughout the last few years, I've already been interested in my grandma's history, but it's the first time my elder cousin, my cousins and my brother are listening to this. And my cousins were genuinely shocked. They were like, holy shit, this is actually crazy. So yeah, best of luck to my grandma, really. Really, the whole point of this entire trip isn't to have nice burgers and play VR and sprain my wrist. Like, I think the whole point of this trip is to see my grandma. That is very much fulfilled. But yeah, anyways, it was a good ending. It was a good ending to an otherwise boring trip, and yeah, I said goodbye to everyone. I dapped up my cousins. I hugged my grandma, and me and my dad and my mom, we sat in the same car with my brother as we send off our brother back to his homestay. And my brother cried. I hugged my brother, and he cried, and I low-key wanted to cry too, but I'm a strong man. I didn't cry. And I imparted very quickly imparted a couple wisdoms to my brother. I said, treat your life like a video game, and also, every time you suffer, know that your suffering has a goal. And when I say those things really fast, it sounds like it doesn't make any sense. But if I learned anything from living alone, those are my two wisdoms. And maybe they only work on me, but that's okay. Like, if I wasn't in that video game delusion, I wouldn't have survived. Delusions help me. But yeah, we immediately went back home to the hotel. It was already 1 a.m. I packed really fast, and I slept. And that's day 10 of the trip. Very boring, but it ended off well, and I need to, next time I travel, I better travel with my lover or something, because I can't keep traveling with my family, can't keep doing that shit. Fuck it.
Back up, always to the front. Always to the front, man. They have a guys in to assist you.
Fuck, the flight begins boarding in 1 minute. Fuck. Okay.
Right after before opening, 30 minutes. It's already done.
That's 31 aisles and up.
You see nothing.
What are you guys doing?
Probably you just don't know.
That'll help your drive.
I want to use it like this. I need to work out.
Daddy's gonna be in the back.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, time now is 1:09 p.m. Still very early in the day, and I'm back in my room. Nothing has changed. Everything's perfect as they are. This is the most inconsequential holiday of my entire life. Very dusty though. Very dusty. That's very concerning. I may have to do something about this. Also very chaotic. Really don't like to see that. But yeah, finally back in the comfort of my own room. Feels great. I mean, feels fantastic. I even forgot to close up the bags and everything. It's fine. I'm dying of hunger right now. I have no food also. I think I'll just eat like candy and stuff in the meantime. I have granola bars over there. I'm very smart. I'm gonna take a shower, a long contemplative shower, and then I'll set up everything, clean up some stuff, and then after 6 p.m. I'll go for some Trader Joe's, and then we'll just call it a day after that. And I'm gonna have a good night's sleep tonight. Very, very good night's sleep. Okay, time now is 4:49 p.m. It's sunset. It's very nice and warm. And I'm back in my own room. I just took the longest shower of history. And let me just say that for the first time, I miss my own room in LA. Yeah, just the comfort of my own room, being able to shower for however long I want to, getting out of the shower, being naked, and like not being scared that someone's gonna see me, and just being able to talk to my own phone and walk around. Like, this freedom is just, this is my mind palace. I could do whatever I want in this room, and no one would know because no one would see me. The only issue is that some people might hear me, but only some. So I'm really tired right now. I am kind of torn between talking about what happened today versus just going over the entire trip from day one onwards. But right now I believe what I should do is to talk about what happened today. Yeah, I woke up. Okay, so last night was fucking shit. After the dinner at my second aunt's place, we all went back home and it was 1 a.m. already. And I immediately packed low key, even though it looks like I have a lot of shit to pack. I packed them in the highest efficiency possible. I packed pretty much 60% of everything, or like 70% of everything, within like half an hour. And maybe it's because I'm already an expert in terms of packing, because I've packed so many fucking times in my life. But also, it's because, I genuinely don't, I don't take everything out of my luggage. A lot of dirty clothes are already inside a plastic bag, inside my luggage. A lot of the books are already inside my red luggage. So, I don't really have to take a lot of things and put them into my luggage. So I had a little extra time, so I decided to listen to some music, and then I tried to go to bed. I went to bed at 3:20, and around that time, my mom's back. So from like 1 a.m. to like 3 a.m., my mom's outside, probably talking to my aunt. And then my mom came back, and she started packing. And she laid all the luggages out, like 3 luggages on the ground, and she started packing like different bags and like drinks and whatever, this and that and this. And I was like, are you not gonna sleep? And my mom's like, no, I'm just gonna stay up all night. And that's fucked up, because I want to sleep. I'm tired and I love sleeping. Just because you don't want to sleep doesn't mean you have to force me to not be able to sleep. But unfortunately, we live in the same room together, and her packing made me not be able to sleep for the most part. Miraculously, I was able to doze off like maybe 2 or 3 times, very light dozes. And may I remind you, my mom wants us to wake up at 6 a.m. and I went to bed at 3:20. So I had like 2.5 hours to sleep anyways. Plus I didn't immediately fall asleep. Plus I woke up multiple times. I basically more or less probably only slept for half an hour or 1 hour combined. And my dad also woke up at some point. It's a clusterfuck. But again, miraculously, I was able to doze off a little bit. I was able to nap for a bit. So anyways, the alarm rang from my phone. It's 6:10, and I immediately woke up, and surprisingly, I was able to like immediately snap back. Like, it's actually really interesting because I think the same goes for like film sets. And that is, if I don't have enough sleep, I actually feel energetic if I'm in a stressful situation. Almost as if I didn't even go to bed at all. Last night when I went to bed at 3:20 a.m., in my head I was recalling Yoasobi's Undead, the song. And the moment I woke up, the song's still playing in my head. And yeah, I just continued back. My mom's like, wake up, your aunt will be here in 8 minutes. Wake up and leave in 8 minutes. And my mom's being dramatic. If we're a little bit late, it's okay. But I woke up, I brushed my teeth, and then I changed. I put my pajamas back into a dirty-ish clothes bag in my luggage, which I'm washing right now downstairs. I packed up my laptop, the new laptop that my uncle gave me, and then I tried to turn it on and it didn't turn on, and my mom's like, you should have done this 2 days ago, and I'm like, okay. And then I got everything, and everything's done. I got all the jackets, all the small stuff, and I managed to fit a bunch of shit into this blue bag, which my mom gave me, and I stored like a monopod, which my mom gave me. I had no idea my mom's gonna give me a monopod, which is like tripod but with one leg. My mom's like, oh yeah, I brought this from Hong Kong because I think you need it, but like I don't have fucking space. So I put my camera bag and my new laptop and a bunch of new clothes in it. I have like 6 new shirts inside. 4 of them are gifts from my brother, thank you. One of them is from Marshall's, and the other is gifted by my uncle again. So yeah, anyways, we packed and it's still dark outside. I went downstairs and it smells good because they're preparing, the hotel's preparing breakfast. My aunt's car's here. My dad placed all the luggage inside, boom, 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 and then we hopped onto the car. I had to wait outside in the cold, in the dark a little bit because my mom has to do something in the lobby with her luggage, so I have to stand outside for no reason. Okay, we got onto the car, and then zoom, there we go, boom, 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 boom. And then about 10 minutes into the drive, by the way, it's about half an hour drive from that hotel to SeaTac, Seattle Tacoma Airport. About 5 to 10 minutes into the drive, my mom was like, wait, hold on, my jacket and my backpack. So my aunt very calmly rerouted the GPS so that we would immediately return to the hotel. So we immediately returned to the hotel after some wrong turns and twists and turns, freeways, am I right? We returned, my dad retrieved them, we went back to the SeaTac airport, we said goodbye to my aunt, and then it's me, dad, and my mom. We went in, we checked in, and it was already like 8:20 after we checked in, and the plane leaves at 9:19 a.m. So, yeah, so it's a bit of a rush, and I still have Kool-Aid. I haven't tried yet, and I still want to. I don't want my breakfast to be Kool-Aid. Okay, so my mom brought this blueberry muffin from the hotel. I opened it. It's moldy. So there's a second muffin. It's not moldy. I ate half of it and then I threw it away. And then I drank a little bit of Kool-Aid. It's terrible. It tastes like Capri Sun. My dad's like, don't drink it. I'll drink it. And I'm like, fine. So I drank a sip of water and then zoom, I left. And said goodbye to my parents. It's like the 6th or 7th time I've said goodbye to my parents. So I don't feel particularly sentimental, but I know it should be sentimental. But I'm kind of numb to this stuff anymore. Anyways, I went to checkpoint, TSA checkpoint. Turns out I was at the wrong one. This woman told me to go to another one. I went to another one, and then I went to another one, and then I crossed the checkpoint, which took a while. And because I have a camera and 2 laptops with me, I have to unpack a lot, and then I have to reassemble all my bags and shit and put on my shoes after the TSA, and then I rushed to gate N7. I took 2 express trains over to that freaking gate. I arrived, I was right on time, and I don't have any money. I don't have any time to buy food. I do have the money, I don't have the time to buy food, nor can I locate any restaurants near the gate, so I'm raw dogging it. I'm not having any food. It's okay, I'll survive. So I boarded the plane, yippee-ki-yay, placed the blue bag on top. I had my brace with me for my wrist, but there were no flight attendants that noticed my brace. So when I was putting my blue bag on the top level area, I was doing it myself. And you know what? It's okay. My hand's a little painful, but it's okay. And then I sat down. There's this old middle-aged Chinese woman sitting next to me and another white guy, probably her husband. And then I fell asleep. I woke up and I saw a Biscoff biscuit on the desk. And so somebody opened my desk and placed a biscuit for me, which is thank you. And then another flight attendant came, asked me what I want to drink. I said water, because I drink too much weird shit. So water, biscuit, water and biscuit, simple lunch. I love it. And then I listened to some music, and then I fell asleep again, and then boom, we're already in LA. Supposedly we're to arrive in LA at 12 at noon, but the plane was fast. We arrived at 11:45. I got off, I went to the bathroom, which was a bit of a hassle because I was carrying a bag with me, and I have to place down the bag somewhere near the urinal so that nobody would steal it. But I also have to go pee. But anyways, crossed the TSA, easy peasy, and then I left, saw the shuttle, got my luggage real fast, 1 second, took the shuttle, called a Lyft, and then the Lyft suddenly became expensive, so I called an Uber instead, which is $50, and then the Uber never came. I waited like 10 fucking minutes, and no Uber, responded to my request. So I called a Lyft, which is $45. It's cheaper now, and I went to the other side of the pickup zone, got a Lyft. This guy drove me all the way back here, and here I am. And I unpacked a little bit, took a really nice shower. I feel dirty as fuck. This trip made me feel really dirty because I didn't bring a lot of clothes. I'm re-wearing a lot of clothes, and also my clothes, they're on the ground. They're soaked with barbecue air, and the shower sucks. It's dirty, so I feel cleansed now. But it was a good ending. I think the last day of the trip was ironically the best part, even though it's just a dinner at my aunt's place and it's a mall I've been to 3 times already. But it was a nice family moment, and it was a nice conclusion, and it was a sweet way to end off the trip. And now it feels like the trip is not that bad. But without the last day, the trip was actually kind of boring. So yeah. Yeah. But nonetheless, it feels nice to be around a lot of people, even though I also kind of hate it. And now that I'm living alone, as per usual, every time I go to a holiday, go for a trip and come back home, the first week is always going to be melancholic as fuck. So today is technically day 1 of round 5 part 2. It's still round 5 because I haven't gone back to Hong Kong. It's day 1 of round 5 part 2. And the next few days is going to be melancholic because I'm going to have nothing to do and no one's going to talk to me, and I'm gonna have to readjust to this quiet, lonesome life again. But it's okay because 2 weeks later I'll be used to this again. So, yeah. So I still have things to unpack. I'm gonna unpack them. I have a whole mountain of dirty clothes for my trip, that I need to wash, all of it. And then I need to go to Trader Joe's. And I'm already thinking of eating chicken curry rice tonight, with salad kit. It's gonna be weird for my stomach because I ate so much food every day in the last few days. If I suddenly not eat a lot of food, it's gonna be whiplash for my for my digestive system. So I do want to like eat a lot of food again, but also no. And yeah, that's it. I don't know. I was taking a shower and I was thinking, so round 5 part 2, what should I do? Like, should I continue with what I've been doing in round 5? Like, just non-stop trying to meet people, joining events, joining clubs, and just like the battle resumes again. Or should I chill out, slow down? But then I see people like Jayun who has like connections and scholarships and internships and whatever, and she's like, everyone knows her and everyone wants her help and she's so important and she's so famous and etc. etc. I'm like, I want to be like her. I want people to hail me as a king. But like, last semester was already fucked up. Like, I was already like bone and skin, neck and esophagus ripping apart, nails, fuck face, you know? I was faced in the fuck. I was fucked in the face with how busy I am. So, I don't know. I really don't know. If you have to figure it out. Also, it's not completely untrue that I'm gonna have like a week of nothingness. Like, I'm probably gonna meet up with Naja at some point to do some spotting for the soundtrack. I'm probably gonna meet up with Luis for the coloring for my short film. This Sunday is Cliff's birthday party. It's been announced, so I will be there, and I'm glad I'll be there. I'm glad I'm not in fucking some trip, you know. I'm glad I'm in a social event. I'm invited, and I'll be there. That's great. I don't know if Jayun comes back to LA and, you know, the thing is, like, with Jayun, I'm still having conflicted feelings because with the cancellation of the breakfast, it's either a good or a bad thing. The bad, and I tend to focus on the bad. It feels like a bad thing. It feels like a missed opportunity. It feels like I almost had it with her, and then I lost it, and then we're just not gonna talk. And it feels like Jayun's not interested in me anymore. Because, like, she talks to every guy, ever. Like, every person with an XY chromosome, Jayun will eventually take a hold of. That's how it feels like at this moment. And XX chromosomes as well, who knows. 2, I feel like Jayun does this to every person. Like, she barely knows a person and she's gonna be like, let's grab lunch together. Because she's not afraid. She's not afraid that she's gonna be dealing with some scary sociopath. Because she's so confident and she's so positive and she's so strong, I guess, that she's like, okay, if you like secretly want to kill me, I don't care because I will still win. That's her mentality, and she's only 19. But then on the other hand, because we canceled our breakfast in Seattle, and she's like, oh, well, I guess we could still meet in LA. I could use that as an excuse to meet her in LA. Meeting in Seattle and meeting LA means different things. Meeting in Seattle is like, oh, we're both here. What a coincidence. Let's see each other. In LA, it's like, okay, there's school, there's work, there's whatever, there's this, there's that. Like, let's see each other. Seeing each other, meeting friends in LA means more than anywhere else, because everyone's so busy in LA that if somebody takes their time out to meet you in person, it's a huge deal. Whereas if it's in Seattle, it's like, oh, what a coincidence, we're both in the same city, so quirky. So I don't know. It means a different thing now. In Seattle, if we meet, it's like a friendly meeting. And here, it's like going out of our ways to, see each other. Which is weird territory, okay? I'm a loser, I'm pathetic, and I don't date people. So I don't know how to handle situations like this. So I don't know. But part of me right now thinks that, why am I focusing on the pessimistic? Why am I focusing on the negative? You know what? Focus on the positive. Use that as an excuse. So every time, if I run into Giant, I was like, hey, we're supposed to grab breakfast together, and it's already been X number of days, like, where's that breakfast coming along? But I can't overdo it because they would be clingy, but I get to, like, say it as a joke, you know? But then again, for that to happen, I have to run into Jiren, which, it's like the running into game again. That with Mary, that with Leslie, like, I don't know. Another thing is, Jiren's not even that interesting, because, again, I've only seen her twice in person, and I can't really find any romantic or sexual attraction to someone I've only seen twice, because I'm demi-romantic and demisexual. So, I can't even tell how I should feel about her if I don't run into her. So, I don't know. It's a complicated mess. Either way, the ultimate conclusion is, it's 2025, and let's take things less seriously. Let's take life less seriously. Let's take society less seriously. I'm gonna try it out with Jiren. And by that I mean, I'm just gonna go for it. I don't know what I'm going for. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna say shit and do things, and maybe she'll be more inclined to speak more to me. Or maybe not. And if not, it's who cares? Like, it's not that serious. Life is just a video game. Life is not real. This is all a fantasy. So I'm gonna try it out with her. Whatever that means. I don't know. Besides, from the way she describes herself, it sounds like she's not even interested in relationships next semester. Like, she just wants to grind and focus on the grind, and like, also she's very casual about relationships. She's like, oh, it's just a situationship. Like, I have a boyfriend, but it's like open relationship, and we see each other every 5 months, and I fucked 4 other guys before seeing him again. Type of situation. It's who cares. But like, I care so much. I'm fucking hopeless. I'm a hopeless romantic. Like, maybe she's not for me, but then again, maybe, because you don't know. It's good that I've made a friend, though. Very good, in fact. Given how important she is, like, being close to her will guarantee that I will gain some sort of connection. Hey, I may gain a connection to fucking Hans Zimmer if I play my cards right. So, yeah, I don't know. God, I love talking to myself. The entire trip, I haven't said so much stuff in one go. I'll continue unpacking. We'll see. Time for some salad at 12:45 a.m. in the morning. The life continues. Ignore my curry mouth. Okay, time now is 3 a.m. in the morning. God damn, it's late. Yeah, just talk about what I'm gonna do. So today felt really long. Like after I came home, it's 1 p.m. and it's been 14 hours since then, actually. At around 6:30 or 6:20, I actually left my place and I quickly changed clothes and went to Trader Joe's for a quick Trader Joe's run, and then came back home at 7 p.m. Just 40 minutes, and boom, I have a bunch of food now. And I cooked curry chicken with rice for dinner plus salad kit. Pretty simple. Definitely not hitting the 2,000 calories mark. It's okay. I also tried my chocolate milk, which I have left in the fridge because I forgot to throw it away, and I tasted it, test, and it's fine. So I don't know. I'm gonna drink all the chocolate milk in the next couple of days, because I'm scared that it's gonna go bad at any given moment. But it's actually fine. I'm shocked. What else? Right, I forgot to mention that earlier today I was placing stuff on my luggage, and I pushed the luggage and then tons of my anime figurines fell backwards, including this one, the Maki figurine, and the hairband. Oh, no, don't. The hairband broke. The hair bit broke, and I was really pissed. But then I suddenly had a 1000 IQ moment. I was like, hey, what if I used glue? Because I have Sobo glue from my white model. So I used glue, and after some trial and error, I managed to use a hair dryer to blow it dry, and then I sit it on the table so that the hair bit wouldn't fall off. I had to balance it out, and then now it's perfect. It can still snap off, it's very fragile, but holy shit, I'm a genius. And I think the final two more things. One is tomorrow I'll go to Ralph's, probably. Because I still don't have enough food. I will need to stock up on lots of food again. B is I want to expand my New Year's resolution. I've been thinking about this, but after I came back home, I looked at this wasteland and that wasteland and this wasteland, and I thought to myself, holy shit, and all of this as well. Holy shit, this is a humongous mess. So, on top of what I already have for my New Year's resolutions, I'm also going to include fixing my room. I will order a bunch of nice containers on Amazon, and I'll figure it out how to make the whole place look neat. Tightly packed, yet neat. I have limited space, but that means I should get even more creative. And hey, I'm trying to be a production designer. If I can't production design my own room, then, then I should just shut the fuck up. Another thing is, while I was on my way to Target or Trader Joe's, I was thinking maybe I should try to learn how to make fake blood. I think that would be very beneficial, because Jia Yun wrote a short film script about like a girl getting into a sorority and going insane. There's like body horror, and I thought to myself, ooh, I would like to try some of that body horror stuff, except I do not know at all how to do the body horror stuff. So I would like to try. And also for my own short films, I feel like learning how to make fake blood is like kind of a very useful skill to have. Like, if I want to do PD, I need to learn construction, makeup, fashion, and making fake blood is part of it. So there are like a few skills I want to pick up, a few improvements in general, a few achievements I'm aiming for. And yeah, I'm washing my blanket. I should immediately dry it because I wanted to watch anime, but honestly, I'm too tired. I almost fell asleep multiple times just now. I can't. I'm too fucking tired. I need to go to bed as soon as I can. And then I'm gonna sleep all day. I swear to God. I hope this acne heals. I hope my wrist heals. My tongue is also hurting a little bit. I hope that heals. I still haven't completely unpacked everything. That's okay. There's no rush. This is fine. I can just let it stay here. It's literally completely okay. Completely 100% okay. And I love that for it. I love that I have a whole room for myself. I can slowly unpack at my own pace. I can take a shower or sleep whenever I want. I can wake up whenever I want. It's gonna be okay. It's nice. And yeah, tomorrow's gonna be home all day except for Ralph's. And then I'll figure out when would be a good time for me to meet Naja, to meet Luis. I asked Justin T when he's coming back, no response yet. And maybe Jayun. I keep focusing on the pessimistic. Oh, she's too busy. She's too popular. She knows every guy. She's this, she's that. She's not gonna like someone like me who's insecure. But I can't focus on the pessimistic. I cannot do that. That's only going to be the downfall of me. Okay? I need to look up. I need to try. So, yeah. I'm not gonna speak too much to her right now, but we'll see. Maybe she would DM me randomly later. Also, tomorrow I'm gonna DM Christian and ask him to be art director for me for the APCA short, even though we probably won't have anything to do. But it's okay because it's not that serious. But hey, even if Jayun doesn't speak to me at all, at least for the APCA shoot, I'll be seeing her somehow. So we'll be somehow tied together again. Destiny awaits. Speaking of destiny, let me just get sentimental for a couple of seconds. After what my grandma said last night about my grandpa, my maternal grandpa, being like a pretty successful director, actor, and how he came to Hong Kong and his dream is crushed. And he just died with cancer just like that. And how I was born after he passed away, and I wanted to be a director too. And like him, I went to a different country to develop. But this time, instead of my dream crushing, it's my dream coming true. I'm inheriting this legacy. And also, the father of cinema in Hong Kong, the last name is Lai, so it's already kind of a family thing. Not really family thing. A lot of people's last names are Lai, but I don't know. There's a huge obligation here, So, let's go.